point. There goes the Gragas, there goes the Baus.
There goes the Poppy, probably.
Yeah, probably a Poppy answer. I mean, if Poppy get through, that would be an opening, but no, pretty much mirrored bans.
However, this time around, NORD is on blue side, so they don't have to ban Varus.
True. I want to see Anax's Varus. He looks so solid on that.
Okay, interesting. Banning Zinza right here for VELJA in the jungle. One of the only AD feast fighting champions that we have left. Nafiri, Vi, Pantheon all out. And let's see what the last ban is here. Traditionally has been a Varus the Shen.
Come on, Inax Varus.
I would love to see a Varus coming through from Inax right here. It's one of Ye's strongest champions, and he has been the shining light in this whole NORD composition. However, this has been something that's been rising into popularity. You played with Millie, you played with Nami, but it has to be a Varus. He's just playing with us, right? Right?
No. Big denial from Crownie. Crownie had an amazing game 3 versus Ruddy. The best game we saw from Ruddy yesterday as well. It was Crownie's Lucian that made the difference. I'm curious what they're going to see as their pair up for it. Crownie's just going to look towards probably the Varus.
It just makes sense, right, to play the Varus.
You guys are getting way too excited by Alva. Let's see if they do it. I don't think so.
There's no way. With disappointment coming through.
Unless Baus suddenly started playing that one.
Nah. You know what? We're getting glimpses of like Uzi joining the Hall of Fame and everything.
Yeah.
You know, big Vayne main. Nazir coming through for Nemesis. This is a very lost RATONES draft, and we've only seen 2 champions. However, I will say, seeing these champions already picked on red side, NORD better have an answer on blue right here, because right now you could either join that Lucian with the Milio or with the Nami. I do personally really like the Milio if there is a lot of CC on the other side, but because you do not know the pairing, the safest and best pairing you can give to Lucian has always traditionally been the Nami. Yeah,
Nami, Lucian, a lot of burst here. Curious what the answer is going to be from Los RATONES, but moving over at NORD now, looking towards their final pick. I'm assuming this will probably be a jungler for them, unless they want to pick a mid-up. No?
Oh.
That's a wombo combo, though. This is what I like to see. You've got very easy access into a fight, locking members down. It's a mobility-less ADC, which you can keep inside that Cataclysm.
You said it. Play for Inax.
Yes.
You've only seen one champion that can get locked in by a Jarvan, and that is down the bot lane, Crownie on that Varus. They are looking to play for that Lucian Nami. I mean, if it does take off, Lucian Nami can take over an entire game. We saw it yesterday from the side of LR. This is a rough matchup, right, for Crownie and Reckless. They're playing into a ranged composition, a lot of poke coming through from the Lucian and the Nami, and because there is not a lot of healing, I'm even expecting to see maybe an electrocute coming through from that Lucian.
I think the big concern I have is NORD do need to take over with these 3 champs they've just locked in that bot side, because as we get later, already you can see there's a lot of range onto Los RATONES. They got non-committal engage in the depth charge, in the chains of corruption. They got lots of ways to kind of play a range away from you, lots of poke available to them. Seeing the Ornn getting banned away, the Quinn getting banned away off the back of that. Probably more top lane bans here, and just looking to focus that one out and not give Baus a nice counter pick. He's still got so many good champs though.
Quinn getting banned away, huh? I'm wondering right here, because Chatty has some pretty good champions still in his pool. We have things like Sante, Kennen still coming through. The Jace has been left open if they want to play for the poke together with the Lucian as well. They are on blue side this time around, which means no counter pick for them. I'm expecting an R4 to be jungle pick for VELJA right here, and you could even potentially go towards something like an Ivern and play for more of the scaling aspect of things. You've got an Azir, you've got a Varus, Sejuani, Ivan, Maokai, anything that can pretty much set up for your team, defend your team as well. These guys are all in from the side of NORD.
Yeah, going to take away that Volibear. Final pick now, obviously looking towards jungle here.
Wait, do we have Canyon at home?
I feel like it's none of these champions with that.
I think
this could be jungle.
I think it's getting locked in, yes.
VELJA flexing!
We have Canyon at home. We don't need to watch the LCK.
Jungle Zed!
Played in the LPL. Knight actually has played in the mid lane as well. We have seen it in the jungle a couple of times. Canyon has played that in the LCK as well. Vrazok was begging Fnatic to play that in the previous split. They weren't letting him, they let him now. And VELJA is bringing it here in the NLC as well. Now, a lot of champions that cannot build a lot of defenses or armor are going to suffer from that. I'm looking at Nash on that Nami.
Yeah.
He's going to be a very, very juicy target for that Zed in the jungle.
Gonna want to make sushi out of that one real quick. See, No Way gets his hands on the Ziggs, so a bit of wave clear available now over to the side of Nord, and the ability to take out towers. Chachi! This will make my day. Chachi's GP locked in as well. It is blind, there are answers to it, but a lot of impact can be had here.
His Jax is still open. He wants to play for that, but the orange makes it really difficult for counter-strikes to land, and he does play AP Jax. We'll see what he chooses to go for. It's going to be the Jax, most likely.
No! KLED! Oh! He's done it! Can you hear that crowd?
The laughs on the player's face as well. KLED coming through.
This is such a hype draft.
Anti-heal champions that have it in their kit is Katarina and KLED. Katarina.
Number 3. Come on, Copenhagen.
Does NORD have more in them?
I hope so.
I looked at Inax backstage and he said reverse sweep ink, and they gave him the tools. He's got the Lucian, he's got the Nami behind him as well. He's got a Jarvan. Now, Jankos is known for things like the Trundle, the Jarvan, things that want to gank in the early game, make some impact. We said we want the demon out of him. We want the First Blood King. He's got the tools here to do that.
He really does. I like what Nord have drafted. They do have so many avenues on the side of Lost Returners to deal with people. The Baus on KLED, just jumping into the backline. That KLED is going to be such a menace. Chachi finds a good barrel onto Baus, but not really going to get anything else.
Everyone's level 1.
Not going to be able to get any range off. Need that level 2 before you get the Q sorted up. But my eyes right now is on Jankos. He was quiet. He was having a snooze during game number 2. He's got this job and he can have early impact. He's a very, very powerful bot lane. Get Inax ahead. Inax has been by far the best performing player on NORD in this series. Let and enable him to get you into a game 4.
As you can see, Jankos pathing towards the bot side of the map. He's pathing towards that Lucian Nami. Of course, Lucian Nami pretty good into melee support lanes, particularly in the early game. The only way you can have like a very harsh sort of trade is if Nautilus does land a pretty good Q onto the Nami, and then you out-trade through the Varus. You see Comet on the Varus as well. For Crowning, he's going to play more towards the lethality build. There's not many tanky members on the side of Nord to deal with later on as well. And I feel like Los Ratones have been playing the entire weekend sort of out-handsy compositions, I want to call them. They don't necessarily have like this front-to-back feel that a lot of the teams choose to go for. They're more like, we're just going to outplay you in team fights. Everyone's got their own agency in how they want to play the game. It's usually like Crowny who ends up just doing his own thing.
Oh, Chachi gets himself a bear trap on a rope off. Just lose a little bit of HP there, but ultimately, grasp Gangplank. He's going to be able to just poke away, farm up those grass stacks, and you know, you're kind of playing for that Triforce spike.
You know what? I feel like KLED is a very Baus champ in terms of
it is.
You dive him, he unmounts, and then he remounts. It's kind of like the Scion. You kill him, but you don't really because he respawns.
I mean, he just chunked Chachi.
Yep.
Really nice little chunk there, but Chachi's fine. Got himself some biscuits. They'll be able to heal back up. As Baus gets back on top of Skull. Nice to see.
They want the 3-0.
They want the 3-0 real bad. Jankos was bot lane, is going for the reset, actually cancels the reset, so may look for a play. Level 3 hit by Inax.
Look on your mini-maps, Velja is heading through base. Double longsword in the inventory makes him stronger in a skirmish. And there's 6 members down bot.
Oh, nice dodge on the bubble there from Reckless. Arrow's going to do a little bit of damage, but solid escape from Lost Returners. They didn't try and bait him in. Just going to back away. Crowd's getting itchy for some action.
So clever right here from Velja. You know that Jankos gonna start top, head to bot, potentially try to pull a cheeky gank if they find a bubble, if they find a flag and drag. What he does is he initially resets, goes back to base, buys the double longsword, secures the fact that he's stronger in the 3 versus 3 scenario, and then heads down bot lane. Now, of course, he's gonna be spotted. He's just going to escort that bot wave under tower.
Yeah, make sure it collects in. Plays the denial. Inax hasn't really got much mana to actually go for a duel on Crowny, even if he does have the health advantage. Baus gonna lose a little bit of HP. Nice to see Jankos is here though. Bear trap on a rope. connects in. I believe Jankos has probably been seen. Baus able just to back off and catch that wave. Chachi hasn't been back to base yet, though. Should be a nice sheen base for him. May even see a Fairy Charm, which we've seen some GPs picking up now, just for early mana. And the resale value on that item is brilliant. You only lose 20 gold.
That wave is at a very peculiar spot right here for Crowny and Reckless. Right under tower, but not really enough to crash. Now the minions are gonna start getting underneath the tower, but it's very, very scary. However, knowing that Jankos on the top side of the map, they feel a lot more safer overstepping and overstaying their welcome to try and make sure that that wave crashes on the tower. Chachi takes a big chunk of a Baus. Baus flashes.
Just flashes into Jankos, into Chachi's pocket.
Just straight in flashes.
He's just trying to get his passive up quicker so he gets back on Scarl.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my
building
bad.
up the I don't know what it's called, the Rage. Oh, Jankos may find him, though. His shotgun, Scarl's back up. Jankos. I think Jankos had used... Oh, no, he used Frag Attack to escape. I don't know. I don't know, Trouble.
Okay,
No way.
Velia.
Able to break away. Level 6 available to Nemesis, though. That was dangerous if he hadn't got that satchel charge off. Would have been bonked into Velia. Jankos may find Velia here, although Velia just going to jump over the wall. Has used his W, though, so
Nemesis
escape is gone. Jankos down the level, but up in aggression with the reset coming in. Not going for it. Chachi and Baus going toe-to-toe now. Chachi's got the damage, though. First blood over to visit Chachi.
Spring MVP is back with a solo kill onto Baus. Baus has had his number this entire series so far, of course, with the help of Velia from Los Ratones. But now Chachi, a fair and square 1 versus 1. No flashes, just pure damage. GP wins.
Yeah, really nice. I think he got 2 stacks of the passive off as well, though, which is a lot of true damage. Stacks up real fast. Gets back into base, buys a couple of extra long swords. Again, that Triforce is the big spike there for Chachi. Bot lane, we haven't really seen much. They've had pressure. They got that awkward lane state versus Crowny and Reckless, but now they're looking to shove in. Again, Jankos in this bottom side. Maybe there's an avenue to get some damage off as Crowny slowly but surely just getting poked out by the passive here from Inax.
That's exactly what Lucian Nami does. Oh!
Gets a nice lockdown, but instant dash out. Cannon Barrage was committed as well.
Just in case.
Chachi.
Precautionary.
I think if the bubble hit, that actually probably could have been a very useful Cannon Barrage.
I feel like it was kind of the opposite. It was to stop the advance from the side of Los Ratones. Had that Q hit from the Nautilus. We could have been talking about...
There he is.
Very scary stuff for Nami as he's just doing his thing. However, if you look on the bot side of the map, over in the minimap, Los Ratones, full control of that bot side river. They have been very keen on those first dragons on the map as well. They have found Baus in the jungle, but he's on top of Scarl, so he's gonna take a while until they can hunt him down. No flash, of course, onto visit Chachi as well, and they're gonna head back. And this is the thing that really confuses me right here, right? Baus is doing the shy things. He's just bothering his the enemy jungler right here, whilst Chachi was losing creeps underneath his own tower. And this is the whole thing where we praise the guy for his playstyle. He is a nuisance in the game. That's what he does.
Yeah.
The global taunt thing is real because you're trying to kill someone who's so slippery. In a lot of his champions, he's got way too many lives, like on Sion and like on here, onto the, I was about to say Scarl, but it's KLED. And Chachi lost creeps to just get in the jungle and get Jankos at level 6.
Well, with all that attention they put into that top side and trying to deal with Baus, gonna lose a dragon, gonna lose a tower as well off the back of that one. Los Ratones gonna be able to take it all. Void Grubs have spawned up, but Jankos is now on the bottom side of the map. He's on the wrong side of the map consistently, and unfortunately, it's starting to cost them a little bit. Velia is also down here, so there's a potential dive angle being set up. Jankos will be spotted on the ward. They're going to get Sunburst off, a little bit of poke even, coming out. But with the fact that Jankos has now been seen, NORD are just going to back away. Baus going for a fight here versus Chachi. Chachi gets the barrel off, gets a little bit more damage out with a Q. Baus will just mount back up onto Scarl, and Chachi not really going to be able to gain too much off the back of that fight. Probably a reset coming in for Chachi. He's about to get his teleport back up anyway.
I feel like NORD have always been one step behind.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since game 1, you saw Los Ratones taking the dragon, then transitioning towards the top side for the Void Grubs. And right here, even though there's not much tankiness, and I feel like Javan will always be sort of relevant in terms of damage. Not how much he stays alive, but in terms of damage and getting the flag and drag and the ult in, he'll be fine. I'm kind of worried right here. They've given so much space again to Velia. Again, Velia on a carry, same as Naafiri. Not necessarily a lot of setup, but a lot of burst.
Yeah.
And we did mention how the NORD members don't really like ZED. The only one who can build something against ZED is Noah in that mid lane. He'll get his hourglass eventually, but that's about it.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, Jankos just hasn't really had a presence on the map. He's finally hit that level 7 mark. Well, he was slow to hit 6. Veli was level 7 when Jankos was level 4 or 5. But they are going to turn their attention towards that Void Grubs. Nice cannon barrage comes out from Chachi, though, just to play Dissuasion, as Inax and Nash maybe looking here for Baus. Nash not got the level 6, does hit it. Dodge bubble from Baus. Lovely backstep. Just avoids that one. Grubs were secured for the side of Nord, although Velia's in the area. Nash now with that tidal wave. This could be an opening. Jankos also here. Might see some action. Inax needs to be careful. That death mark may just come down in onto him. Inax immediately getting hit. They're going to charge forwards. Tidal wave comes down. Inax, the healing's pretty big. Inax jumps away, but Baus finds his opening. Tries to find the lockdown. They've got the ability to pin him in place. Cannon barrage is not going to be there, but Jankos secures the kill as Chachi TP's in.
But this was all a play. That's the theater. Look what's happening over on the bot side of the map. Keeping, again, Nord busy on the top side. 4 members have to commit for 1 kill to go to the side of Nord. And so many turret platings that are piling into Crowny's pocket down the bot lane. 1,000 gold if just only from those turret platings from the bot lane from Los RATONES.
Really just came down to Inax checking a bush, which he shouldn't have been checking. Gets himself heavily chunked out. It's going to head back onto the map. Jankos in tow, but such good vision actually placed. They can see them coming in through lane. They can see all of the different jungle avenues. There's a pink ward up by that blast cone as well. Pink ward in this pixel brush. Nord just can't move around the bot lane without Crowny and Reckless see it happening. They're just going to reset, refresh on those wards, and then probably just plop them down once again. Chachi get jumped in onto by Baus. Passive again, that trial by fire. Does quite a lot of damage. And get a nice chunk out of him. Did Veli just steal the crab? He did.
That's why he's playing the ninja, baby.
Very true. Baus, Chachi, toe-to-toe, trial by fire, gets refreshed. A little bit of extra damage onto Baus there, but it's about
that's very
to mount
scary,
up.
right? He looks like he's in lethal range, but he's also one order off of getting his chicken back, or dinosaur, whatever it is.
Whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. They brought Zippy in TFT at some point, and we thought it was actually Skull. But it wasn't Skull, it was called Zippy. Yeah. But they were literally the same thing.
Wait, does Baus have a kill? I just used Bear Trap on the road. He doesn't have kill pressure anymore. Chachi, we'll just go for a barrel onto Baus, get a little bit of extra poke damage off. Let's go back away. Velia was thinking about making a move into the mid lane, but isn't actually going to follow through off the back of that.
This game feels like a bit of a stall from the side of Nord. They're like, let's get our key items. You need first item coming through for that Lucian. Usually you're waiting for rapid fire to come through as well. As Veli's looking here, mid lane for Noe. Noe does have flash.
He does have flash. He has satchel as well.
Up.
Yeah. Velia thinking about it, isn't going to get much. Jankos? Is he going to find Baus? Baus is just going to quickly clear away the wave.
And again, right here, you're putting your strongest members, which is Inax, right now that he completed his Essence River. You're sending them top side of the map just as Dragon is supposed to spawn because that tower has fallen. You cannot afford to have your Lucian Nami overstep their welcome, Baus.
Well, hold on, they're going to find the interrupt onto Baus, keep him pinned inside the cage. Inax launches into the fray. Baus demounts. He will not survive today. Inax takes him down. Nord secure the kills.
Baus traded again for a neutral objective. This time it's going to be the Dragon on the other side of the map. And we're just seeing OG Los RATONES. Baus dies, LR take the map.
It is a heavy cost they paid for that. That was a really, really heavy cost they paid for that. But do have the grubs. They're going to be able to actually potentially answer out with this turret, although Reckless makes his way over. Waves crashing in. They're teleporting up Nemesis as well, just to make sure that he can play the wave clear. And tower stands. It's a bunch of plates over to the Lucian. Inax can still down in gold right now to Los RATONES. 800 gold down, so, well, to Crowny, so.
It's just fantastic map awareness from Los RATONES. Velia, again, getting into enemy jungle, stealing stuff from Jankos, right? Jankos is more of a ganking kind of jungler rather than a farming jungler. ZED falls into the category of Viego. He can fight and skirmish if he needs to on that one item, but he is a farming champion. When you have those 2 to 3 items, it's usually when you spike as an assassin as well. And especially, again, due to the fact that there's not much tankiness on the side of Nord, this ZED is going to exponentially gain more and more value as we go into the late game and as more items are being built into his inventory when you have the Edge of Night and when you have Garden Angels and all that, and you can't be pinned down or killed just once.
All right, let's take stock of items, because while you mentioned the Essence Reaver on Inax earlier, we've now got the Ludens, obviously, on No Way.
Sundered Sky.
Sundered Sky, thank you. I want to call it Divine Sunder every time on Jankos. Chachi has his Triforce. Other side, BAUSSI actually hasn't finished an item yet. You put your Eclipse onto VELJA. Looks like actually Nemesis maybe getting jumped. The bomb comes through. Jankos has the flank angle onto him, pins him in place, and he is shoved out of the bowl. Doesn't matter. Jankos will take him down.
Very nice pick right there. They'll take the tower, they'll take Nemesis as well. Meanwhile, VELJA was emptying Jankos' bot side jungle, but now Jankos can get to reply. They have a lot of pressure through the top side of the map. They've got 4 members for NORD. Chachi needs to be very, very careful. He sees the red buff missing, so VELJA should be around there. So Jankos is just going to return the favor. He's just going to steal the top side of the map from VELJA. He's coming in right now, 4 members strong. They'll take the Hex Gates. NORD need to back out.
VELJA actually may just look for Inax off the back of this one. They're going to get so much damage into him. Half his HP. NORD back away.
I'm looking for that rapid fire cannon. The second it's completed onto Inax, put that Lucian over in the mid lane and you play as aggressive as you can. It's something that we were very blessed over last year when Ruler was in the LPL to see him play over in the mid lane. He was one of the most dominant players when he had that champion. And the second you complete rapid fire, you are just literally an AD LeBlanc of the old ages. You dash forward, you chunk someone down. Even if you don't kill them, you are literally creating a very 4 versus 5-esque scenario where you've chunked them down, they can't really walk into neutral objectives, and this is how you get control of the map slowly.
I believe it's probably going to be Infinity Edges. BAUSSI takes the tower on the top side. It's 1-2 on the towers right now. Gold lead, very close. NORD have got 4 kills under their belt. Lost Returners have been unable to get a single one. But I do still feel like NORD are playing an incredibly slow tempo game. I want to see more from Jankos. I want to see him finding openings, finding impact.
That is so scary what's happening down bot lane.
Ooh.
And the mobile champion, Satsan Ziggs, has a really, really difficult time playing on the side lane. And particularly when you want your Lucian to be in that mid lane, to be the nuisance we mentioned prior, having your Ziggs on the side lane gets very, very tricky. And now there's 3 members closing in on him from the side of Los Ratones.
Yeah, I think Noah's just going to have to look for the run. He's got Flash, he's got Satchel. Going to put some damage in. Reckless. Lands the depth charge into the hook, into the follow-up. Bomb comes down, Reckless, it doesn't matter. VELJA almost went down himself, but I will actually say this is a NORD-favored play. They get the Rift Herald, they're sitting happy, they're going to teleport in. That's actually going to be Chachi, I believe, joining up as Nemesis. Just going to jump away. VELJA's low HP. Cannon Barrage comes down. They're going to throw out the barrels. Nemesis gets caught by the slow into the queue, into another ultimate coming out from Nemesis. But Inax is going to chase forwards and look to finish him up. The tower goes down way too late. NORD get Herald. They get the kills. They answer back. Very
incredible response right here because they can get to push the waves. Jankos pushed mid. They can push through bot lane. They spawn the Herald as well. Get a lot of vision behind and in front of enemy lines. 30 seconds for the next dragon. It's going to be so point if Los Ratones take this. This is the time for NORD to hit back.
BAUSSI is in topside, like pressuring up onto tier 2. See, Noah's made his way over on the Ziggs though to clear it out. They actually need Noah just to walk by mid real quick and throw a satchel and take that tower for them. But right now, Chachi's clearing waves on the bot side. Now got himself his double longsword and his cloak, so slowly getting some crit.
I know we don't have a zoom right here, but I want you guys to see the 2 red wards on your minimap behind enemy lines. They are in Jankos' jungle. These are 2 really great TP wards for someone like a KLED that wants to find the backline access.
That is, we'll keep our eyes on those wards because it looks like there might be a contest for Dragon here. Teleport already starting. He's actually going to teleport too deep, joins up with the rest of his team. Chachi's making his way over. Jankos gets caught by the CC for a second. Chain of Corruption lands in. Tidal Wave goes out. That's as much as they're going to be able to do. They're going to have to concede the Dragon. Dragon number 3 over the Los Ratones. But I actually think NORD played that right. They couldn't get in the area. They don't overcommit. They don't fall for it.
They threw everything on Jankos, right? At least they do take that mid lane tower. This is very important. They're going to need as much vision as possible. Again, in 5 minutes, you have Soul coming up for Los Ratones. You know NORD are going to want to fight this. They're going to have very key items completed as well. I'm looking at an Infinity Edge, a second item right there, which is just completed for Inax. That is a very strong Lucian, and you really need to start leveraging that more in the mid lane. Try and get more control of the map. I feel like that is what's missing for NORD right now. They're always second on objectives because of the waves, and it has been happening for the entire series.
Yeah. I mean, the control of the map has been NORD's biggest problem in this entire series in general. They've not really been able to set up in the area. They're always late. Like, I praise NORD for not overcommitting for that dragon, but realistically, they had just not set up the vision. They not set up the control. They couldn't, it wasn't their dragon to even think about contesting. So they did the bare minimum of walk up and see if they can do it, and they realized they couldn't.
I love that Nemesis has gone Rylai's second item right here, because Lucian might get that rapid fire cannon, but he is a pretty short range AD carry. You dash into the shoulders, you get instantly slowed.
Chachi, he actually got a lot of barrels off here. BAUSSI is losing a lot of HP. Not gonna full commit, doesn't know where everybody inside of LR is, but showing you a little bit of the early power there from the GP. Once that collector comes in, you got a bit of crit, you got that lethality, you've also got that execute window available. It's a major, major spike for GP. His first 3 items are, every one of them is like a massive step up in power. Triforce into Collector, into Infinity Edge. After that...
You said a lot of items here. Can you tell me what's that item in Zed's inventory?
That is a voltaic sword.
Cyclo sword.
Cyclo sword, that's a voltaic cyclo sword. I got the hard bit right and the easy bit wrong. I know my items.
All right, Jankos is wrapping around. 4 members of NORD inside enemy territory. They do not, or they do have to be now, onto the gangplank if Chachi wants to join them, but they haven't pinched Jankos. Jankos perhaps is going to miss.
Plays the interrupt, BAUSSI jumps onto the back line, caught by the tidal wave though, flashes out, the culling will lock him down, and Jankos dunks him for the kill.
Great stuff right there. Jankos sneaks in, takes the red buff, pulls in Los Ratones, and BAUSSI, way too disconnected from his team, goes in super, super squishy just with 1 Hydra. Ends up going down. NORD really good at game picks right here. And again, we said the Javan in this particular game is not necessarily going to lose too much value. We're looking at bottom left. Oh, he took the ramp side. Got straight into 3 members right there. Very nice ult from Nash to keep everyone alive. And the calling is going to finish the deal.
Really nice there from NORD. What they want to be doing. Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver onto Inax. I think it's around now is where we look to see that rapid fire come in and that range poke you were talking about. But these 2 items give so much raw AD and just raw power to his autos.
You see if Lucian gets ahead, he actually
hold on,
builds
Brownie, caught by the flag and drag. Inax's damage is colossal, cuts him down.
This wasn't even just Inax's damage. There's 2 items with Black Cleaver on that Javan. That Javan really hurts.
Nemesis.
But he's all alone.
Shuffles Jankos back, who just flags, drags, runs away, but they throw down the depth charge. The heal comes in. VELJA slides in and takes him out.
Jankos took the Nautilus knock-up on both his carries right there.
Massive mistake. No tidal wave available to bail him out. He just went down.
There was heal, but I think, I don't know if heal saves him right there. A little bit too deep, again, from Jankos. Nowhere's gonna attempt to clear out the wave, but BAUSSI gonna take the tower nevertheless. So another tower going over to Los Ratones, and gold, dead, even. Los Ratones are pulling on TPs for that Atakan. Let's see if NORD have an answer right here, because they're not even set up for it. Jankos
they don't have a jungler. Yeah, they don't have the ability. They've not really contested Atakan at all in this series. Chachi's making his way over, does have the cannon barrage. Gonna do a bit of extra damage here. Throws the barrels out onto BAUSSI, gets a bit of extra damage off. Not sure they're gonna be able to find it. There's gonna be the Atakan secure. Chachi now getting jumped onto, has to flash away from BAUSSI. Health bars are low on Los Ratones. Inax is feeling like jumping forwards. No way, may play the interrupt. They're gonna chase off as Jankos is coming in onto that flank. 2 members left exposed. Jumps in onto Reckless, who flashes away, finds the lockdown. Los Ratones walk out with all 5.
Have to blow a couple of flashes on Azir and on Varus. But Atakan secured for the side of Los Ratones, and everyone is manically pinging the dragon. 10 seconds left for both of these teams to set up. Double TPs are going to be pulled. This team fight could break open the entire game.
This team fight could potentially decide the entire series and the entire tournament. NORD are finally, for the first time, first in the area. They find Nemesis and VELJA, not gonna full commit because no one else was able to really follow up. Just vision clearing coming in from both sides. Gonna get their hands on the Scuttle Crab. Bit of poking out, BAUSSI on that flank, but Chachi doing a good job of shutting him down from getting anywhere near the flank angle. Nemesis is also going to join up onto that, maybe VELJA as well.
Very importantly, crowning Nemesis, no flashes, they call Chachi!
Chachi's in danger! He's going to put some damage onto Nemesis, but he is taken out on his lonesome. Chachi!
On such an important moment, Los Ratones find the angle, find the pig!
Lands in onto no way! He's blown apart! VELJA blinks back out, doesn't want to hang around. Beautiful hook from Reckless. This has to be a hero steal from Jankos. And the problem is what is the cost going to be? Arrow hits onto Inax, hook lands onto the Nami, Baus jumps in onto the backline trying to find Inax. Culling's going to cut through him, but he's just going to look to de-scroll for the moment. Gets him pinned in place, and that is Baus holding on to his life. He survives. 2 members of NORD stand. That's Soul.
So unfortunate for NORD. Back-to-back for Chachi. The 2 very important moments on the Soul. He dies. He forces NORD having to make that play 4 versus 5. Nemesis, fantastic. He finds the angle. He unveils Chachi. Baus takes him down. What a great pick right there. And as NORD are piling through the choke point to try and gain any control of the river, try and see if they could possibly steal. Reckless says no.
Listen to that crowd. Straight back into the action, though.
He was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it. I am loving this crowd in Copenhagen. You guys are so amazing. I think this top lane matchup has shifted down to bot lane right now. Probably going to be a little bit chill. I think this is our next major objective. I'm going to say conjective there. It's going to be the Baron. Right now, neither team really has much control in the area. There's like 1 flank ward from Los Ratones, and there's like 1 shallow ward from NORD.
Oh,
Chachi, though, is going to be getting jumped onto by VELJA. Looks to put the barrels out. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this one. He is way too damn squishy. Baus secures the kill. Oh. Meanwhile, there's an answer out onto Crowny. 1-for-1 globally.
Huge right here for NORD. This could have been Baron. 45 seconds on Chachi. Los Ratones could have forced the issue on the neutral objective. And let's watch this one more time. Bottom left for you. Inax absolutely destroyed Crowny. Crowny oversteps, and NORD are now
Baron.
starting the Baron. VELJA through the Hex gates. They know it's happening.
There's going to be a contest. Nemesis coming in. If he can put the door in, he can slam it onto the members of NORD. But Baus is inside the base. Jankos jumps in. Nemesis goes to the shuffle back, dodges away in the bubble. But Inax's damage is too damn big. The bomb goes wide. Nemesis has nowhere to go. He takes out Nash. Now VELJA going low to Inax. He's going to dash forward and look for him. The base is on fire. Baus is going for the back door. Chachi's back. The cannon barrage shuts down the kill. Chachi now looking to kill out Baus. Bear trap on the rope, makes the connection, interrupted on the escape. Another barrel is popped. Baus tries to run away, but Chachi will take him down with a parlay. NORD are not done yet.
Jankos still around the Baron, and NORD are limping, but they're not out. Nash is gonna spawn, and that's a 5 versus 2 for the time being. Jankos is gonna start it, TPs are gonna be pulled in.
They do this so quickly. Chain of Corruption comes down. Chachi just takes a tangerine, takes a break. He's back up. Healing from the Redemption. NORD getting this Baron low HP. Teleport, though. It's going to be a Nemesis. He's going bot lane. I think he's going for the back door. They're just going to play interrupt potentially here. Looks like they're just going to back off. I think he's just stealing red. Teleport for a red buff.
You know what? I was looking at Crowny. Behind the pit with that virus, and he gave me Guma can't he steal it vibes. This could have been series end. Crowny's gonna play it safe. And Nemesis, even though he TP'd, he saw the play, he thought about it. He decided to just take resources away from NORD instead. The next bigger play is going to be 2.5 minutes down the line. That's the Elder Dragon.
No rapid fire cannon on Inax. Instead, opted for the Flicker Blades. Pretty standard build on Modern Lucians. Gives you a lot of ability to use those dashes and those spells. There's the Death Cap for No Way. Just finished that one up with the Shadow Flame, with the Luden's Companion. 3 items in, same for Nemesis. Items across the board starting to get matched.
They're tipping straight
They're
in.
going straight in. I think NORD are just going to try and muscle their way into the base. The problem is Baus is bot lane. Chachi doesn't have teleport. He doesn't have ult. He's going to have to reset and play the defensive.
I am really confused. They committed the TP for 1 tower that was going to fall anyway, because Baus is scary on the side lane. He just eats through towers.
Word! Whole breaker demolish. See Crowny lose a fair amount of HP off the back of that one. They've still got the supers. Well, not supers, but the Baron-empowered minions is the word I'm looking for. VELJA coming in on a potential flank. Chachi just needs to play defensive. There's 2 supers stacking up on that bot side. They have recalled, they have reset, so NORD are going to have to just play a bit more defensively. Chachi got himself the shield bow, not the Infinity Edge, so not as much burst available yet.
This is going to be a series-defining Elder Dragon.
Yes.
back-to-back Chachi has gotten caught behind before big objectives. The Soul last game, the Soul here as well. NORD need all 5. They need the spring MVP to show up on that gangplank. 3 items deep for mostly every member on the side of NORD. If they want to push this series, if they don't want to go out 3-0 like they did in winter, this is going to be the fight that they need to take and win.
And Los Ratones are so aware of that. You can see VELJA hovering Baus, seeing if a window is open for him just to jump onto Chachi, blow him up, and then take away some side lane pressure. Chachi not giving that opportunity over. He knows how much is on the line. He doesn't have teleport, though, which is really crucial for this Elder. Baus has his.
I really don't like what NORD are doing right here. They got into the enemy jungle, they put down their wards, their vision, but then they just left, which means the Los Ratones are going to come straight through base, sweep everything, and take the vision that NORD so nicely put down for themselves.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there. Reckless and Nemesis just going to make sure clear out some of this vision. Jankos seen on the ward. Reckless may look for a hook onto him here. Jankos has the flag and drag. Chachi's joined up. Gonna just flash in onto Crownie, who is obliterated. Beautiful pick. Chachi in the middle of the fight, looking for the lockdown onto Nash, but Nash is not going down today. Yes, he is. Baus takes one with him. That could be Elder for NORD.
4 versus 3 for the Elder. NORD wanna push this to game 4, but VELJA is still alive. The smite is still up, and NORD cannot take the 50-50. Not here.
Chachi's going to play Interrupt right now onto VELJA. Huge damage coming out from Chachi. Ooh. Massive death mark. Good flash away. Noways on a killing spree as he takes down Nemesis off screen. VELJA, can he find the Interrupt?
No way.
Chachi, he's resetting. He's not going to let VELJA go. And that should just be Elder for NORD. Massive wave here. Crashing into the bot side, though. Someone needs to reset and hold. Chachi TP's in. Elder secured.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. NORD are breathing some life into this game, and let's watch this one more time. Jankos, call an ambulance, but not for me. Action right here. Overextends, catches Crownie without a flash. Fantastic bomba from Norway right there to solidify the deal, and they catch Baus as well. Baus sure takes one with him, but that's just the support, and the 4 versus 3 was more than strong enough for NORD to take that Elder Dragon away.
We were so critical of Jankos after the first 2 games. This is the Jankos we wanted to see. Action-packed, playing well, finding those windows, finding those opportunities.
Almost 100% kill participation as well.
He has been crucial for his team. 4-0-7 on the Lucian, though. Inax, huge. Infinity Edge now finished up for Chachi.
Backstage, reverse sweep ink. He wasn't kidding.
Someone needs to go bot lane. No way he's not got teleport.
They're question mark pinging him.
I don't know.
Okay, the inhibitor has respawned, and Chachi has backed.
Inax, as long as he doesn't get blown up here, as the inhibit's down.
He has Elder.
He has Elder.
And he hurts.
He really does hurt. He's got a redemption, he's got an army, he's got lots of people to kind of put things away from getting onto him.
Baus is still around.
He is. I worry for Baus now. With Chachi having that IE, that's the big item. That's the final with the trifecta for GP. Infinity Edge, Drive Force Collector.
Ooh, Nemesis is in focal.
So they are looking for Baus here. Catch him inside as he goes for the jump forwards. Jankos putting some extra work in, but Inax is sliding forwards. Baus going incredibly low. Tries to find the damage onto Inax, but it's not going to be happening today. He is burning low, and Inax will be gifted the kill. No, it's Jankos.
Baron in 30 seconds, 54. That Baus is gonna have to sit on a gray screen and watch his team push out those waves, and instantly Crownie, like a machine, trying to push that mid lane. Top lane, VELJA has sprinted over to the top side of the map, trying to push in that wave. They know that NORD wants to take that next Baron. With that next Baron, they can use that to siege and teamfight their way to potentially a game number 4. And this is what we wanted to see from this series, a NORD that fights.
I'm so glad we see some NORD action here, because they had a rough game 1 and 2. They got 3-0'd last time in the finals from Los Ratones. They do not want to repeat that game. Baron's going to get started up. Baus, 13 seconds, does have teleport though, so they need to do this quickly.
You don't
really have the time to do it. Chachi's not even here either to speed up that Baron. Crownie just landing the poke over the walls. Jankos has to run away. Redemption comes in just to heal up the members of NORD. Baron dissuaded. The Baus death ultimately doesn't cost too much. He's just teleporting straight to top lane. Nemesis needs to be dealt with in the bot lane as well. NORD are a bit scattered right now.
I love what Elara are doing right here. They know that in a straight-up team fight, they just lose. Because NORD have the backline access with the Ziggs ult. At this point, Lucian is an absolute monster as well with the 3.5 items. So what they're doing is just they're spreading them thin on the map. If they can get a pick onto Chachi, if they can get a pick onto maybe Ziggs, Los Ratones can use this numbers advantage to push down those side lanes they've been trying to for so long.
Well, looks like they were hunting for Baus, but Baus is going to be able to make a break away from this one. Jankos still hunting. Reckless is in the wings. Same with Velja. This could be risky for Jankos. He's a bit further forward from the rest of his team. Flags and drags up. Bear trap and a rope comes down. Chachi just clears out the wave. They're going to back away. Nemesis continues to push, though, on this bottom side.
There is just no vision behind that Baron pit. NORD are literally walking in blind. Chachi's going to get cancelled on the top.
Yeah, I guess his reset cancelled. Nemesis got the tower up as well. As Jankos losing a bit of damage to Baron. Will be able to heal back up. He'll be fine. He's got Nash there. But you can feel the tension right now. Everyone knows the next fight can potentially decide it.
Gone quiet. You could hear a pin drop.
I feel like I'm casting at home.
All right. Baron up. But no team can do that with junglers up. It has to be a pick. Chachi has been the sacrificial lamb twice. Game 2 and here game 3 for the soul for Los Ratones. You cannot afford to make that mistake. Very scary for Ziggs to walk on a side lane, push out that wave. Very scary for Gangplank. Again, very, very mobile, both of these champions. And Los Ratones have been really good at capitalizing every overextension that NORD has had on a side lane so far. But right here, NORD are trying to regain some vision control behind that Baron pit. Behind the Baron pit is the most important place if you want to start Baron.
I actually don't think Velja can one-shot on Chachi anymore. Chachi's 95% crit.
And the shield bow.
And the shield bow. And remember, the trial by fire scales of crit. Crit chances. Oh, Crowny hit by the bomb.
Oh my
word! He is taken down, Chachi!
The snipe coming through from the mid-top duo of NORD, and that's a 4 versus 5 on the map. Velja, huge weight on his shoulders. He has to attempt to steal the Baron as Baus puts pressure on the bot side of the map.
It's going to have to be a hero play from Baus.
Surely you don't let him in.
Velja's trying to get his way forwards. I think they're going to have to reset someone soon. Chachi's not there. He does have teleport. He can head towards that tower. They're going to see Baus in the bot lane. Chachi just continues to zone. Baron's going to get taken. Now NORD need to reset real quick. Baus will take the inhibitor. He won't take more. Elder up in 19 seconds, though.
15 seconds for the Elder, and there's absolutely zero vision for NORD inside their own jungle. They have to go through completely blind. Push mid, push bot. They have to make sure they don't get caught, and Jankos is leading the charge right here, pushing Baus out of the equation, trying to gain some space for NORD to walk inside this river. This is the most important fight we're most likely going to have, if not for this game, maybe for the entire series.
This could decide it all. Even with the Hex Soul onto the side of Los Ratones, they are struggling. Baus going in for a flank. I actually think he's just going to flank the base. He's going to charge in. Inax may just be the target. Death charge lands onto Inax, who jumps away. Nemesis! What an ultimate! The shutdown onto Inax! Jankos slides into the back, but Chachi is here, able to find himself the assassination. Reckless trying to put the damage down, but Chachi's barrels doing some serious work. Chachi, what a save! Now it's Jankos versus Baus and Reckless. The ace is coming through Los Ratones! They have done it! The teleport into the bot lane! This will be the series for Los Ratones! What a monster fight! What a huge ultimate from Nemesis! 2 towers stand between Los Ratones and the title!
15 seconds for Inax to spawn together with Nash. There is no wave. Is it going? 5 seconds? 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds.
I don't think he's going to do it. Los Ratones trying their hardest to close this one out. Down goes the Nexus. A 3-0. They remain undefeated.